Welcome to Backseat Confessions Podcast. Slide into the backseat as we listen to mostly anonymous strangers tell us stories from their lives. I'm a rideshare driver in Atlanta, and the people getting in my car have absolutely no idea I'm going to ask them to share. My commitment to you is to tell at least a snippet of virtually every story recorded in my car in the order they were told to me. My hope is that you laugh, cringe, cry, but mostly connect to these amazing people. You may find a piece of your own story, or just feel more connected to the rest of us. Join us, won't you? So, hey, my new friend. This is an adult podcast. Themes and languages are definitely not suitable for everyone. Listener discretion is advised. In this third episode, the 5 consecutive stories we'll hear cover a pretty wide range of rider experiences. The first story spills some tea about a friend. Next, a young woman makes a really tough decision. Then we move to an inspiring story about not giving up on your dreams. From there, we hear one of my favorite supernatural encounter stories. And we finish with the kindness of a stranger. So glad you're along for today's ride. Let's jump in. The first story goes to show you that you can feel like you know someone, and you might know parts of them, but not everything. This guy isn't throwing shade, but the shade room is.
Story number 11. Friday, October 30th, 2020, 5:30 p.m.
A lot of people won't believe it, but like a moment no one probably will believe is real. But I mean, I guess it's not too far fetched. But like, I never knew like one of my homeboys, like one of my close homies,
Yeah.
like was actually the guy that was dating Jeffree Star.
Dating who?
Jeffree Star.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had no idea like that. That was like, you know, his life, his lane. You feel me? But it's like I don't judge anybody.
Right.
But it's like, dang, I just like it would just call me because I've been on guy for almost like 2.5 years now.
Wow.
Like, been cool, homies, everything, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, then next thing you know, you see him on the shade room.
Wow.
Like, shit's crazy. And now, all of a sudden, it's an already hit the fan. So, shit
Really?
already hit the fan with that.
Really?
So,
What
yeah.
happened?
They're not together no more. And
Oh.
I feel like Buddy probably ended up ruining his life, man. Like, and there's nothing I can do about it other than just pray for him and continue being who I am, a friend and a real person. That's it.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But I also gotta keep it real honest too and say like not everything's necessary when it comes to bread or money or anything like that. Like
Yep.
it's gotta be a certain limit where you hold to, like that's why I say ego is a good thing. A lot of people are trying to say ego and pride's like will get you messed up, but I say ego and pride is also save you too from doing life-threatening decisions and life-threatening mistakes.
That's true.
So yeah.
So the only reason I know about Jeffree Star is because my daughter had told me about him, being something of a makeup genius, and according to Wiki, his net worth in 2020 was $200 million, so apparently he's crushing it in the world of beauty and fashion. This writer is such a cool friend because he's sticking by his friend, but he's also keeping it real about having integrity and respect for yourself. He's right. If you sacrifice yourself for the bag, you may end up with nothing to show for it and a hit to your reputation. Stay classy out there, people. This next rider has to make one of the most difficult decisions imaginable, all while being quite young and on her own and trying to support her family on another continent. She's a brave one.
Story number 12. Friday, October 30th, 2020, 5:46 p.m.
You know, I was in a relationship for like 5 years. Hell of a 5 years.
Wow.
And during the second year, I got pregnant, and I had an abortion. He agreed. I didn't ask him though, but I just didn't want to have his baby.
Yeah.
And something about it, I don't know why, just after that situation just made our relationship a little hard but easier.
So
and
you stayed with him after?
Yes, but it's crazy because I only stayed because I guess the time, I was young and naive and still fending for myself and getting to know what I want to do in life.
Yeah.
And it just happened. I mean, I don't regret it. Sometimes, I wish it would have been different with him.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe my story would have been different.
Yeah.
But I don't regret it. Like, it's just like at the time, I am by myself.
Yep.
I'm from a different country where, I'm here, but like I also support my family in my country.
Wow.
So, taking care of another life is another great expense. I already had sacrificed my career, like as in going to school.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the moment I was only waitressing, like, regular family, restaurant, business. So, it's like, I had to do what I had to do. And like, and sometimes, is not a lot of people see eye to eye to that decision. But, everybody lives their own life. Like I was just telling my mom, like you can't let people decide for you or abide by what you should do in the correct path of life.
That's right.
Like everybody has their own, if you're gay or if you're bisexual or whatever you are, you are your own person. Like you can't let anybody tell you. People could judge you.
Right.
And it will phase you sometimes, it'll hurt you. But at the same time, you're still going to do you. You're still going to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're still going to pursue what you want. And eventually I cut things with him because I also had to give pride to myself. Like I couldn't continue something that wasn't making me happy just because I already put those years in.
Right.
So eventually, like, you just have to do something for yourself and not for catering to others, like how I was to him. Like I helped him build himself up from, not saying that he wasn't already up, but I built him greater. Like to a good man, there's a good woman behind her.
Right.
And so I just felt like I was investing so much in him that he was not investing in me, where it was not making me great. It was decreasing my value.
Yeah.
And not only money wise, but like he got everything he wanted except for me, and that just I could see it like that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, just from my point of view, you're just a really strong woman, and I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm older now. I'm going to my 30s, so it's like it's a decision that I had to make, and I feel like I wouldn't be anywhere near if I wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
One of the moments that really sticks out to me is that after the microphone was off, she thanked me for not judging her. Not only would I never judge her, but I was really just so proud of the woman she was. So strong. You can tell by the way she didn't even want to say the word abortion how hard it was for her to tell this story. She said she was from South America and a conservative background, so she almost never shared this story with anyone. Hearing her story was when it first hit me that for some people, they just need a safe space to get something off their chest. And this podcast could be that place. I feel honored to be trusted with these vulnerable moments people share. My next rider breaks the rule of anonymity, and this is one of the only times I can remember anyways, where it officially was more of an interview than someone telling me a story and me reacting to it. On rare occasions, I let people say who they are if they have both an inspiring story and something to promote. And Kedrick is just that kind of guy.
Story number 13. Monday, November 2nd, 2020, 7:07 p.m.
Okay, so my recording company kind of start from my mom.
Wow.
My mom, my family in general. My mom's side is real big on music.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to. My mom died in 2017, and that was like a big deal for me.
Sorry.
And, actually, I'm sorry, 2011. I don't know where I got 17 from.
Okay.
She died in 2011, so it was a real big thing for me, and I kind of wanted to continue her legacy, and I knew music was one of the things that we have in common.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to kind of implement that, and I started the company called Lorraine Records. So her middle name is Lorraine. So
that's beautiful.
That's pretty much how I started. That's my story. So I was just a young man who basically started from nothing, honestly, and I basically went with the dream. That's it. And that's how I'm here in Atlanta today.
That's amazing.
It ain't been easy. It's been hard. I haven't had got a big financial breakthrough yet, but I've been able to make breakthroughs in other places that typically will cause you to have finances, but I'm blessed to be able to get to a place to where I didn't need all that. I was able to just grow with people that believed in me and seen opportunity. And that's really my story. You know what I'm saying? I even just started. I got a new building in Dallas, Texas. If you're ever in Dallas, Texas, make sure you come check me out. Search me and hit me up. But I have a new location that I've recently just started. It will be opening up in January. So make sure you be on the lookout for that. And yeah. So what you got? What questions you got for me?
I've never thought of it this way. So you're my first person to ever do almost like an interview. But what do you feel like is your biggest win so far in life? What's the thing that just has brought you the most joy or you're most proud of?
Good question. All right, so my biggest win actually is my single that I released with Sean Austin, Stand Up. I feel like that single is it's bigger than me. It's bigger than the artist in general. Like, it's going to be one of those things that people going to kind of grasp to, and they going to understand that, the concept. So it's like, I think it's one of my biggest accomplishments so far.
That's amazing. What is the hardest thing you've ever walked through that when you did get to the other side, you were able to say, man, I learned or I grew from it, even though it was really hard?
Okay, so the hardest thing is me honestly just going and actually staying to the task. Like, it doesn't it's for a lot of people I see that when they go through things, they look at it like it's going to be something easy or something that's going to be a task, and honestly I understand that, but a lot of people give up, when they don't get what they need or get what they were looking for. And with me, I just feel like it ain't no giving up with me. It's to death do me part, so therefore I'm going to do this to the end. But it becomes a challenge because things happen. Like, I've lost my mom, I lost my brother, I lost friends, I've to the point to where I don't even know who I got no more, you know what I'm saying? But all I know is I have a dream, so therefore I'm sticking to that. Like, no matter what I go through, I'm dreaming to the highest extent that I could dream to, and I'm putting in that work. It's not just a dream. I'm going hard for it, and that's why I'm in Atlanta,
Yeah. So so you've lost your mother, you've lost your brother, you've had a lot of people close to you, obviously, that you've lost. Where is your source of inspiration to keep fighting and going? Like, where does that come from? Is that does that come from your mother, or does that come from somewhere else? Where did that come from?
Be honest, I would say my mom, but it's bigger than that because I would say, like, really to anybody that didn't get the opportunity to be where I'm at today. There's people that out here that's mentally challenged. There's people out here that crippled. There's people out here that has died that outside of my mom. You know what I'm saying? And didn't get the opportunity to do half of the things that I've done. So I feel like I'm doing it for them. I'm living for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to put it into like a specific person or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that not gonna be able to ever do what I'm doing, and I want to make sure that I'm doing more than enough to be able to kind of fill in that hole,
Yeah. So, wow, that's amazing. Let's say 10 years from now, you become a wild financial success, and you've made it by whatever standards that you have or the industry has. What do you want your life and work to represent, and what are some things you'd like to do with that, like leverage that platform and some of that?
Honestly, I want to push other people. Like, I feel like we wait so long to get to a place that we'll never get to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? End of the day, like, it takes people like me or you to understand, like, okay, listen, we given opportunities. It's up to you to kind of capitalize on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in an Uber right now, and I'm with a stranger right now, but he's capitalizing on his Ubering. You know what I'm saying? And he's able to do more than just Uber, and then now he's turned his Uber into a talk show. So I'm all about that. End of the day, like, it's all about, you know what I'm saying, being able to, you know, take what you got and make it more out of it. Because in the day, it doesn't take so much money, it doesn't take so many people, it doesn't, none of that. It just takes you going out and having a dream and actually implementing that, and people will come forth and help you with what you got going. And it's gonna take a lot. Like I just told them, it's trial and error. It's trial and error.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. You have to go through that to get to where you're going. I don't care how much knowledge you have. You still have to go through the error part.
Yep. Wow. Okay. If you were gonna leave, which you've already done this pretty well, but if you were gonna leave a word of hope for a listener who may be going through a tough time right now, what would you say to encourage them based on what you've learned through your life experience? You've just kind of said you make your own luck by you know, staying in the fight, by keep trying, not giving up, trial and error, but which may be what you leave. But what would you say? What would be your life message for someone? My life message would be to stand up. You know, you know what you're supposed to do. You have it in your heart. You feel it. You know, I don't feel it. No one else will ever feel it. To be honest with you. So it's up to you, like, to kind of go ahead and push forward and, you know, go hard in what you believe in. You know, I or no one else would never be able to tell you or believe with the way you believe. You know, so I would. My goal is to tell you to, like, to look, go hard. Like, no matter what. Like, people gonna die. People gonna, you know, you gonna not have money. You gonna have money. Things gonna happen in your life, but no matter what, like, you have to stay consistent in what you believe in. Yeah, that's what I have. Like, that's what I've given, persistence. Yeah. And if you don't have that, then honestly, I don't even think you're gonna go far. Because talent is oh so much. It's only gonna take you so much, like, so right. Far. If so you don't have that grind, it's not gonna do too much for you. Yeah, no, you're right. There's been some amazing research that shows virtually every person who's ever been successful, talent wasn't the underlying thing. It was grit and persistence. So you nailed it, my man. It was Kendrick, right? Kedrick. Good Kendrick Lord. Mallet with Lorraine Records. Kendrick, thank you so much for your story, my friend. Thank you for hanging out with me. Awesome, man. I appreciate you for having me. This was a very interesting Uber ride. Kedrick is such a cool guy, and I genuinely wish him nothing but the best. Also, I think he's dead on with the persistence over talent idea. There's a great book that deals with the research on this idea called Grit. And even though I don't know if he's ever read it, he nails it. Additionally, I've linked his IG page in the podcast notes, so you can give him a follow if you'd like. This next story takes us down a possible supernatural path. Have you ever encountered a person that later on you wondered if they were fully human? This young man seems like he may just have had such an encounter.
Story number 14. Monday, November 2nd, 2020, 7:49 p.m.
Alright, so it was like I went to this camp called YMCA located on Campbellton Road, Atlanta, Georgia. So I used to go to the summer camp, and it was this lady. Like, I don't even remember her name because, like, it's that crazy. Like, but she used to always come get me out of my class, like, and we used to walk around the track at YMCA, and we used to just be talking. Like, she would be asking me what I want to be in life and what, like, you know, different little things like that. And she was asking me, she was like, did you ever, like, want to, you know, start exercising and stuff like that? But it was just like every time I went with her, I used to be like, why is this lady always, like, just concerned? Like, I don't know. Like, she was just always concerned. So, you know, weeks done passed, summer camp, the same lady still talking to me. We done went on trips. She'll come get me in my class. Like, if I get in trouble, she'll come get me in my class or whatever. So I told my dad about it. I kept telling him, I was like, Dad, this lady keep, you know what I'm saying, coming. Like, I want you to meet her. Like, cause she cool. Like, like she cool. Like, I said something about her, Dad. Like, she told me that I'm gonna be something one day in life. Like, she told me I was gonna be something.
Yeah.
I don't know what she meant. She was like, you gonna be something one day. She said, trust me, I'm telling you. She was like, you just gotta stay to yourself. She was telling me about the summer camp, like, but I was so young, so I was probably like, what, 7th, 6th grade.
Okay.
So I'm understanding all that. I'm like, what? Like, you just keep telling me every time she'll see me, she was like, you gonna be somewhere there, I'm telling you. So I used to tell my dad about the lady. Tell the lady. She used to take me to her office, YMCA. I don't even know if she was over YMCA. I don't know who the lady was. Like, I don't know. Like, but she used to be something important like that YMCA to be taking me around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I took my dad there. He picked me up one day. And he was like, where the lady at? I was like, I got to take you upstairs to her office. He was like, all right, we can go. Believe me a lot, I took this man to the office.
Yeah.
It was a regular office with storage stuff in it.
Wait, what?
Oh my God, that's what I'm saying. I took my dad to the office where the lady take me and was talking to me with her desk and stuff, and it was like a storage place. Like, they had mops and.
So there wasn't an office.
It wasn't an office no more. Oh. And I really don't even tell this story too much because, like, I was young, so I don't be wondering about you, man. Maybe you just talking, man. You crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, that junk, I think it's crazy. Somebody would tell me that, I'd be like, nigga, what are you talking about? But, nah, like, this is real serious. Like, my dad didn't know what I was talking about. He was like, man, you just had me come up here for no reason. And I'm like, well, Dad, no. Like, it's a lady that be come get me out my class talking to me. I'm telling you, like. I'm like, ask people. I'm like, ask them. They be like, it do be a lady. Come get him. And they was like, she's such and such set. But they even were like on some confused. Like, the whole thing was just weird. Because I'm like, I'm getting people to vouch for me. And they on some like hypnotization. Like, they don't even know what I'm talking about. But they do know what I'm talking about. I'm just like, bro, I don't know. So it was just like, my dad like, have you been lying? Like, you been telling me? I'm like, Dad, I'm telling you, no. So out of the base side of this story, I think what I got of it, I think it's angels in the world.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
I think it's angels. Or if it's not angels, it's something else, because that is crazy.
Wow.
Like, that is so crazy. Like, when I tell you, like, bro, I was so shocked. Like, I'm like, Dad, like, what? I'm so confused. Like, you remember, this 6th and 7th grade me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
I don't know. Like, I'm like, Dad, this is a late. And after that, I had like a couple weeks after the summer camp, because it was it's time about to go back to school.
Yeah.
That lady never came and got me out my class since then. Ever since I showed him the office, she never came back, got me. I'm asking people like, where that lady at? They like, what? You
so no one else knew or saw her, and
yes.
All that you remember.
One other, like my camp teacher, he knew the lady, but when my dad approached him, was like, who's the lady? He was like confused, like he was saying it was another lady. I was like, no, that wasn't her. He was like, well, I don't know.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
Wow.
I'm like, what do you mean, bro? You seen her when I seen her?
And this like person or angel like only ever like encouraged you, told you that you were gonna
be something. But she used to never tell me what I was gonna be. I'm young, like I don't know. I don't think you just around me trying to just mess with me, cause I had the little chubby cheeks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Nah, this was like for real, cause every time she sat down, she was like, listen to me. She was like, you gonna be something.
Wow.
She used to sit me down like seriously, like,
yeah,
you gonna be something. She was like, you so intelligent, you smart. I was telling her I was like left-handed. She was like, you left-handed? She was like, oh my God, like she was just getting so excited, and I'm like, I don't know. I used to just like the lady, cause when you come around her, it was another type of feeling, like a spirit or something was on you. Like, it's just good vibe, like a good vibe. That's why I used to come home and brag on the lady so much, cause I was like, Dad, you gotta meet this lady. Like, she cool, Dad. Like, you feel me? Like, you would probably even be like, damn, this lady cool. It was that type of vibe.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's incredible. So she came around to build you up, and then you said she would. The only other time she came was when you got in trouble. She would come and take you away.
When I got in trouble, come and take me away.
And be like, my question is, how did she know you were in trouble? Did she? How?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I be getting in trouble. Like, as soon as I get in like time out or something, they'll be like, you gotta sit out. She'll come and get me. She'll be like, she'll like, come on. We'll go get some snacks and just walk around the track and talk every time.
Dude.
And go to her office and sit.
I think, first of all, you told it to the wrong person, because I actually believe in like the supernatural. So I'm down. I think that you may have had an interaction. Like, how amazing is that? I mean, if it was a real person, great. It's still the same thing. But how amazing would it be if you actually had like a visitation from like an angelic being who was sent to you to tell you about your future and to build you up? And
like, but amazing. I don't even want to say that, because it was like I kept questioning. But like, she never, I'm not gonna lie, she never was like on some, I'm an angel or
no, of course, no, I get it.
None of that. Like,
but you said you felt something when you were around her.
I felt something, but she never was like, oh no, like I never even wanted to question like you're an angel, cause I was like, it was a real person.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't
but you know, that's how most people that have seen angels, they don't know that they're angels until later when it doesn't make sense. So
if I see that lady again, I might start crying, because it's like, wow, what in the world? Like, I'm gonna be like, where did you go? Like,
yeah,
why did you leave me? Or like, it's that type of vibe. I'm telling you, I just met this lady in summer camp. So for me to be like, why did you leave me? It was that type of vibe.
Yeah. Wow, dude, that is an amazing story. That's actually beautiful. I know you're young. You're only 18, right. But so you got a lot of life ahead of you. There's probably no way for me to do it, but how amazing would it be, like in 10 years from now, to see if you better understood some of the things she told you, right? You just like, how incredible. Dude, that's a freaking gift, bro. For real. I mean, I know that's the thing you don't tell a lot of people, because not everybody's gonna believe you, but
because it really be a waste of a story. Cause I be thinking like, man, them folk not gonna believe it. Like, I told my dad, like, my dad still to the day, like, boy, you just be talking. I'm telling you, like,
nope.
I'll be like, Dad, nah, I'm dead for real. When we went, I'm telling you, that lady was in there.
Dude, I actually 100% believe you. Quick little pro tip for the parents from my own personal experience. If your kid sees or experiences something that is supernatural, try to ask questions and encourage them. When my youngest was a little guy, he used to see things that the rest of us couldn't, and it would freak me out. Instead of helping him develop the gift, I just wanted it to go away. So, yeah, learn from me, and don't do that. Our last rider shares how, in a moment of need, without even telling the stranger what was going on, he stepped in to help her out. And while we're on the subject, if there is a sugar daddy out there that wants to pay some of my bills with, getting really nothing in return, well, I'm open to the idea.
Story number 15. Monday, November 2nd, 2020, 9:07 p.m.
Okay, one day I was at a gas station, and this stranger was like, "Can I be your bill helper or your bill payer?" And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And he was like, "Do you have any upcoming bills?" And I was like, "Yeah, I rent due." And he was like, "Well, take my number down and I'll be your upcoming bill payer." So he was an anonymous person, and for him to get my number and take my number down, and then I called him, I was like, "Well, my dad supposed to gave me $500 upon my rent, and he never came through." Wow. And I just feel like he left me out in the blind or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Where you at? I can give that to you. There's no problem. I told you I really like you and I want to be your bill helper." Wow. And I just felt like that was that was a blessing. Like, that was so anonymous to me. Like, that was a blessing.
That is crazy. And it wasn't like a sugar daddy situation or something.
No, it wasn't.
It was just literally
anonymous.
The kindness
like,
of
I haven't
a stranger.
even heard from him ever since. Like,
wow.
I mean, he might pocket out just to see, like, are you okay? But
yeah.
It's like I never heard from him ever since. And it was anonymous because I was really stressing about, like, how am I going to get this $500? Like, my dad really did me like this. How am I going to get this $500? Wow. And he came out the blue and was like, "I'll be your bill helper." And he didn't know nothing about my situation.
Right.
So it was just strange for him to just be like, out the blue, like, I'll be your bill helper.
That is like a that I've heard of stories in my car before that reminded me of an angel. He's like your bill helper angel.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, really. I could use a bill helper. I know you're out there somewhere, just wandering around looking for that, person who looks like they need their bills paid. Yep. I'm just waiting right here. Yep. Sitting here. Yep. Anytime. I'll be right here. In all seriousness, though, I am about that. I want to be that generous and to know when and who to help. It reminds me that in a world where bad news is what sells, there are small acts of kindness being done every day that far outweigh the negative. Yet we as humans are determined to see the world through the bad news lens. Well, I hope you are able to give or receive an act of kindness this week. This is what happens when you are a rideshare driver in Atlanta and ask people for their stories. These weren't handpicked people with great stories. They just happened to get in my car and be gracious enough to share with all of us. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be in Atlanta and need to grab a rideshare and end up telling the rest of us the next great story on BCP. I'd actually encourage you to, every so often, just ask a stranger to share a story from their life. You never know what you might learn. I believe that our stories are powerful. They can make you laugh, cringe, cry, or even get you to think or feel differently. Our stories can truly make this world a little bit better place. So please, subscribe, rate, and listen to this podcast and share it with as many adults as possible. It would mean so much to me. First and foremost, I want to thank the incredible writers who trusted me with your stories. You're my heroes. Thanks also to all the people in the background who have believed in this project/dream. All of the music on this podcast was found on pixabay.com, and it was free, which is an amazing gift when you're starting a podcast on a shoestring budget.